Hi guys, let's play some music, let's gather together and let's start on time. I have a new tune for our intro and I hope you like it. So let's go. Good morning, guys. Where's everybody? is everybody? I hope you guys had restful, what was it, 3 weeks? 3 weeks since the last time we've been here. And the last time, if I remember, I didn't have a good microphone. So hopefully you will hear me better this time around. So tell me, guys, what's new? Would like to hear, how did you guys spend your last 3 weeks? What did go right? What didn't go right? Barbie, hello. Knitting Yogi, hello. Bibeka. Bibeka, is that your first time here? Tell us. Barbara B. Lorna H, hello. Guys, tell us, what is your sign? What is your ascendant? What is your moon sign? So that way we know when it's your turn. Also, the privilege that you guys have being on live chat is that actually every single reading for every single sign might contain messages for you. Just think about it. Think about you're on the other side and you feel the vibration of the person you want to contact. And the person is not paying attention to coins. The person is not paying attention to clocks and different stuff or things happening. So you figured if they really hear the words that are familiar to them, they're going to get it. Ooh, look at that. There's an antenna, because we readers are like antennas. Phew, let's come to that antenna. So do you think they're going to wait for your sign? They don't have that form of energy. They just know you're there and going to try to squeeze it in when the opportunity shows up. So every single thing for you guys here, unfortunately not for those who are not here. So that's something to keep in mind. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be what, 8 a.m. Pacific Time, or I'm here in Atlantic Standard Time at noon. So, pussy cats, you, my kitty cats over there. So good to hear you. So my sun is, and that's kind of interesting, because some of you heard me talk about that astrocartography. My sun sign is Aquarius. My moon sign is in Leo. It was a full moon, so that's what it means when you have the opposite. When I was born, and that's screwing me up the whole life. The whole life is supposed to be released, so I need to kind of release some karma here. And my ascendant changed, because your ascendant will change according to your cartography. And few of you that actually had my cartography reading, I did kind of cover that. So if you wonder where to meet a partner, or from where, or how quickly to get happy, that is the way to look at it. That and Lenormand is the another thing that really helps you kind of like give a good view left and right, and the people who have been with me for the longest are swearing by it. So it's kind of hard to have it as a general reading, because it's very I cannot get, I guess I can get general messages, but it can be very confusing. What if one person gets a message, you need to be with this person, another person gets a message, you don't need to be with this person. So you can see how that can actually really work out. So guys, what happened to me the last 2 weeks? Let me see, what do I have to report? As you know, I started a new job. I work on a strategy for YWCA locally here, so W, not M, for women. And I never worked with nonprofits, and I'm experiencing my share of organization mess, people not being really goal-oriented, people having their enormous egos. And I'm not talking about my boss, I'm talking actually about my coworkers. So when somebody comes up with an idea, a whole bunch of people will find out why that idea cannot work, instead of building that bridge why it can work. So I don't know how much longer will I have patience for that. So Knitting Yogi was, at least she purchased, I don't know if she was in a class, virtual yoga class. I really wanted to see and hear her opinion, but I still didn't get in touch with her because I'm still recovering from 100 hours of work that I had previous week in order to deliver that. So, and I was the one behind the camera, And that was not perfect either, but I was just told that I'm behind the camera, to, like in my defense, literally minutes before. So I don't know about the congratulations. I really need, I'll have lots of debts now. Guys, if you know, I bought a house over here and I calculated it needs some renovations. I calculated, 30,000 and it turned out to be 75,000. So I need to pay it off. So I paid off 2 credit cards, still working on the others. So there we go, guys. If in the future I post something, and I don't like to pander to my audience with those events unless they're really good. And the particular instructor, and I really was pushing for yogi. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you know anything. Yogi is a trauma counselor, trauma yogi, and she karma yoga. Oh my freaking God, just name it. Astrology. She was a tarot reader. Like, this is like one lady with a great scope of abilities. And no, they didn't let me. But this woman was not bad. She was actually a pleasure to work with. I was very surprised when she said, well, I don't do meditation. How do you do yoga and you don't do meditation? It just kind of like brought me back to when I did meditation for the first time. And I thought it was very boring. I remember it. I was 22 and I had only, not 22, I was even younger, 20, maybe even older. No, I was about 24. Well, not much older, but I remember meeting this girl in my aerobic class, and we kind of came from really different walks of life, but we both had boys on mind. So it was really interesting that she said, hey, we will go and party, but I am just taking these classes in autogenic training, and you can just sit and wait for me. And I'm like, okay, fine. So it was just 1 hour. I thought it's not a big deal, but oh my gosh, that hour was, close your eyes, just feel the warmth. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to just put me asleep. And I felt that is as boring as it gets. And I think it was like 4 or 5 times like that. After the aerobic class, we went to that class, and then we can go out. I just like started to really resist that. Kind of like, no, I'm going to go out. I'm going to wait with a coffee over there. But she insisted I'm in. So basically, what started to happen on one class, I said, okay, so you know what? Let's challenge myself. Let's see what I can do if I just join in, because I was not paid student, so I actually didn't think it was okay for me to do it. So I joined in and I went through it and I was sold. So that's kind of like, I think, maybe experience of many people, that sitting still and exploring yourself, controlling your body can be really difficult, especially when we live that very, very busy life. Lynn, oh, going to a business event. Well, I understand. Saturday, aren't you guys changing? Isn't this pandemic changing people? It's kind of like when they ask you to work on weekend, you think they're asking you to grow a third arm or something, like what is wrong with you? Kind of a thing. It's weird. So I was thinking, what do I do today? So we have, let me see, we have the 26th the next time. I don't know, is this too early to do monthlies? I was really thinking about the light thing. And my apologies for the last time. I really wanted mods to run the show and I wanted to pre-record. A woman that was supposed to help me just dropped the ball on everything, not on one. It was dropping balls everywhere. So I just literally didn't have, I did have space, but I didn't have mind to put my mind into it to do it. So, and then I figure out, let's skip it. Nobody's going to die. And then I realized actually it's going to work out with the other dates. So we are going to see this. So what is Kylie? Hi, Kylie. Kylie is in Sunday. Did you know that? She realized that. She realized it a long time ago. But it's kind of like weird when you get invitation for Sunday and you know that this is on Saturday. It gets confusing, especially if you're on the other side of the planet. So I am here really in between Europe, where I'm positioning geographically on Atlantic coast, in between European time and Pacific time. But Australia, that's kind of different thing. And Kylie is in my tarot group that I have on WhatsApp. I think Kylie, you should try because she's really good. Hi Chris. She is, oh my gosh, really good with WhatsApp, and I didn't know how to add her. It just didn't work. So she managed to do it. It's the same issue I had with Barbie. Maybe Kylie wants to take over and add Barbie. Maybe Chris, Lynn, whoever is the mod here, guys, you are invited. All you need to do is send me an email that you want that. In that email, please send me your phone number. I'm going to share that with Kylie, so just want to be transparent because she is really a whiz. I can try to add if works, it works, but then I'll send it to Barbie, to Kylie, because I tried to add Barbie and it just didn't work. So, yeah, I know. Kylie, you're not on Canada's time. It's going to be one day confusing when she shows up for a visit and she's right here, like talking to me, and you will see, like, I mean, extra kind of like set of hands. I think that would be really awesome. So, guys, okay, so tell me, what do you want, kittens? Do you want me to have April reading, or do you want me just to have the messages, which means that our next reading is on the 26th, which I can have a reading then, 26th, right? When do we have, yeah, I think 26th would work, right? The Easter is, let me just check. Am I going to, where is the April? When is the Easter this year? It is 15th, right? I think 15th, 16th, 17th. So 26th and 9th, and that really works. It works really well with this. So you're on WhatsApp too, Lorna. Just send me here. I'm going to put my email for guys who you don't know. And I guess, do I need to, Kylie, give you the some kind of authority on our group info? Group info. Oh, you, Audrey, and Kylie. Okay, Kylie, I just made you a group admin, so you can do that. So, there we go, there we go. So, nobody is saying anything over here. Oh, look at that Mystic Caturdays. This actually looks really cute. I like how YouTube did it. So I have really massive technology issues, and this is going on now in 3 months. And I'm getting to the point of thinking, okay, I just need to buy new technology because I actually do have a really good desktop computer. I used to have a really good laptop that died, and HP didn't want to honor warranty. So now I can either sue them or buy a new one, which is not going to be HP. And I'm still mulling it over, and for $2,500, it is fence, kind of like fence and everything. But I don't know, they're not going to cry over me not being with them. But honestly, even if I fix that laptop, and it's a little Spectre, which is really expensive one, I don't think I would enjoy using it after the attitudes that I have received. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to invest in a completely brand new laptop somewhere else. It could be even the Windows, the new things as well. So we will see. Okay, so let's do this. Since nobody is saying anything, I'm going to go with psychic messages. You guys know how it works. It works in a way that we have a game going on. You guys online, you're getting messages for everything. Mods are getting the extra attention because mods have been here with me, what, is it 3 years now that we have these lives or longer? And I have the angel cards also for the mods over here. And I'm randomly drawing the signs, so we are going to see it. However, I'm always starting with the sign that is currently going through their sun return, which is Pisces at this stage. But I am going to take another one out, and that another one is for you to guess. And you know what happens if you guess it, you get your own card, and the own cards are going to be coming from here, and same with the doors. So we will see it. I know I picked Paulina Tarot. I kind of like fell I still don't know if I'm sold on it today, because I usually use the cat cards for the monthly readings. I have so many decks, and some of them are just not good for live readings. They're either too plain, or I don't know. I have Osho over there. It's just a little bit too intense for the regular things. I don't know, guys, if this one is a little bit too hard. Cosmic Tarot. I'm just like looking. Hermetic Tarot has no colors. Muha Tarot is not bad. It's just a little bit too fruity. I have like Wild Unknown. I like that one. I buy lots of tarots that I like. When I see them, I literally go crazy for them. But in the end, I don't end up using them. So for the monthly readings, in addition to tarot, I also use, I'll probably use this new shamanic deck, which is freaking amazing. So guys, if you're not on my social media, I took a really breather for social media. Oh my gosh, that was helpful. And I really think from time to time, at least weekly, I'm going to put that shamanic reading. And shamanic readings are more or less based. How I want to have them based is north, south, east, west, where you're honoring this. I mean, it should be up and down as well, kind of like the sky and the earth. But this will do because they're like the basic tenements of the principles. And it kind of like tells us what we need to let go, what we need to focus to, and that can kind of like gives us a little bit more spiritual direction. So, already, guys, you can start guessing what is this, like Ikat and Aquarius, and this is how it goes. But let's see it. I also had issues with transcribing my little things, so let me see if this is going to work with this one. I'm just trying to use a different pen over here. So, Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Happy birthday. Ooh, we have death. Is this good really for the reading? Can you even see this card? I'm just trying to see if there is a too much glare here. It might be a little bit too much glare. Let me see if I can do without glare. This one wanted to come out. And this one is the Tower. Ouch. Somebody is not learning a lesson, guys, here. You cannot even see that. Let me see. How do I zoom in? Let me just find if there is a zoom function of this on this. And it would really help. Brightness, camera control. Oh, look at that. It has zoom. How is this now? Now you will not see if I have multiple cards. So let's do that. At least I found something today. So yay me. Recently I'm thinking I need to get some memory supplements. Oh, you didn't get, oh, you did get it here. So we'll see about that. So first of all, Pisces, before I go into the further details, and this is really, really glaring here, I'm just going to put it aside, is like you have, I'm trying to see how do I make this light without this being pointed to the table and hence removing the ability for us to see it normally. This is a really beautiful deck, but like I can see it from the distance from the camera. It's kind of like hard to see. This one I like for a reason that you see Phoenix. Honestly, I see these pheasants where I live. There are some seagulls, but not where I live. Like, I mean, in Toronto, you could see seagulls everywhere, especially, of course, around the water. But here I live very close to the river. You don't see seagulls. You see all kinds of birds. I see finches, and then there's like some kind of like brown birds, something with S, I think it's their name. But I see lots of crows and pheasants. Isn't this looking like a pheasant? I know it's a phoenix kind of like coming out. This is a phoenix as well, but look at this, the wind god is just making everything kind of like come down to the basically start. So, and of course you couldn't see anything from the glare. So, weekly messages because I'm visiting a friend for 2 weeks. So let's see what happens if I just remove the light entirely. I need to wait for a few seconds, guys, for me to really see what you see. And that way I can adjust further, kind of like what needs to be done. So let me talk while I'm waiting here. I see always death shows up for people who are not learning what they need to learn. Let me see if I put a light in the room, if that's going to help. Maybe that can bring something. We'll see. So this tells you, like, let's say you're a child and your parent tells you you need to stop. You should stop doing that. You shouldn't really continue doing what you're doing because it's not going to end well, right? We all heard that, or we have, no, see, this doesn't work either. It is so weird. What do I do? Okay, I'm going to do without, and we are going to see how that works. Little brown birds are sparrows. That's it. Is it sparrow? Really? Isn't this sparrow one, the black one with a white stripe? Okay, I think it's sparrow. Yeah, I think the other one is shoot. It's something with S as well. So we are going to go this way, guys, right? I have to find how do I have diffuse light here on the table. So let's go back, Pisces. Let's start from the beginning. I'm going to put the new timestamp here, and let's do this again, because it is your birthday and you deserve to have my full attention. So, Pisces, the first 2 cards I shuffled about 5 minutes ago, and then I went in all directions, is what is basically happening. You are not focused on what should be focused over here, right? These 2 cards to me are very critical, and usually I connect them because this card is our own free will. But even when we have free will, it is a very difficult decision. So we need to let go of someone. I see that in my coaching, I sometimes deal with women who are codependent, who need to let go of a relationship that is just not working for them. The partner is not responsive, not caring, not loving, not protective, and they're still staying. And why are they staying? A, there is nobody else to replace with. So that's not consumerism. Hey, you know, I need to replace my orange juice with another one. So it's understanding that you need to kind of build yourself. And B, oh, it's nothing out there. So hence, let me have a bad choice. But the truth of the matter is that you're actually harming yourself with being in that situation. You are continuing along the path that is A, not opening you emotionally. It's actually closing you down emotionally. It's creating a negative attitude, which then you'll need to work later to open up. So this death card is always, to me, a card that gives us that, let's call it, warning. It says you need to really go in that direction. Something must stop. Whatever it is, it can be a positive thing. It could be, usually calls for something to stop if it is not going in a positive direction or direction that you would want. So you're studying and you're not advancing in your studies. This card shows up. It would mean, hey, you know what? You need to kind of like go and try a different path. You need to kind of like work with that in a different way. So this is stage 13. This is stage 16. So we have a 14 and 15 here. So what is happening in 14 and 15? So 14 comes if you choose to rebalance. And it says just be patient with yourself. Nothing, like Rome is not built in a day. Be careful. Things can work out. It's even giving you hope that maybe something can be revived that you have left, because this can also be that rebirth. It can kind of go in that situation. But you know, Pisces, you're holding that rebirth. You're holding the kindness in you. But let's be honest, Pisces can be the most vicious sign of all, where, you know, it's kind of like that sign of Pisces, of two fishes flying, swimming in different directions, which you sometimes can really get confused, and hence you just kind of like don't know where to go. Then the 15th comes the devil, and the devil is basically testing your resolution. You're resolute, if you're resolute on something. Hey, you know, are you sure this is over? Are you sure you're not going to this guy who doesn't want to commit to you? Are you sure you want to continue the studies? Are you sure you want to continue this job and you're treated well? But look, the money is good, and look, you can say you're with somebody. You know, there is like that feeling that is appealing to our vanity, what we want to show to the society, what we think it's a good representation. And then you continue and you fool yourself into, you know what, I can make it work. Yeah, you know, it's not that bad. It's generally what I hear. It's not that bad. I'm just making it sound bad, but it's not that bad. Then the tower shows up. It says, yes, it is that bad. It's not for you. So you're getting these two cards, which is telling me something is going to happen in quick succession. Something is going to happen telling you need to stop, and you need to stop. You're not going to stop. And then you're going to be made to stop. So maybe somebody is going to, quote unquote, dump you. Maybe it's going to be one of those aha moments that they're going to change anything. But in either way, it's going to be back to the square one. Something will need to be completely reset and rebuilt if you're ever to continue. Tower is not for weak-minded. Tower is a really card that really helps us, but it's not easy while you're going through it. It's like learning foreign language. It helps you. It opens your horizons. You're going in a new direction. But oh boy, it takes time to get there. It takes lots of embarrassing situation. It takes, you immersing yourself. Pardon me, I can't speak the language, and I'm trying to talk about that. So the tower is also the card that tells us you need to do it right. Why as well you don't do it right. So let's see over here. Oh, I didn't have the icon for you, Pisces, so let me do that. Better late than never, right? As they say. Thank you guys for reminding me about that. So the third one is Five of Wands. Five of Wands is that perpetual struggle. In this perpetual struggle, what happens is it's really interesting. This Five of Wands is here shown with 4 people. So there are like, I think, more players in here. And I would say, aside from you, there are like 3 more in your situation. And everybody is holding a stand. It's almost like an impasse. That way is being shown here. In a regular deck, it is really shown as, it's really actually interesting over here, because look how it's basically creating the pentagon, even though it is kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there's like the extra one going through. And I think what this tells me is that actual direction or the answer is something that was not brought to the table. There's like something completely new. But there are 2 people who have, I would say, according to this card, lower motives, and 2 people who have maybe higher altruistic motives. But either way, everybody is still arguing. There's like a lots of noise that I'm feeling here. Everybody's holding their stand. And I really don't see collaboration here, which is the basically advice, which is the path forward, which is something that we really need to do kind of like and go in that direction. So Pisces, I don't think this is the greatest, time to kind of like, I don't know what to say. it's not the most positive birthday reading, so I'm so sorry about that. But this is clearly sending you lots of messages to you and to everybody who is on live, who needs to hear it. If anybody here has something that needs to be let go, or some situation that really you need to put that proverbial line in the sand, now it is time to talk about it. So let's go next. I got your message. I'm kind of busy tomorrow, but if you want to call me after live, I am free. I need to go and get wine. So Pisces, you're off. So guys, did you guess? How many guesses do I have for the next one? I have ECAT. Who else guessed? Yes, Creative Guru, I just didn't look at the conversations. I was more focused on to feeling and intuitive what I'm getting from this for Pisces. And we don't have many Pisces, so I don't know why I'm spending so much time on Pisces, but I'm just reading what it is because we guys get messages for us as well. So which one is this? We have a reading Yogi Cancer, or we have Lorna Libra, Pisces. Okay, well, it's not going to be Pisces, Kylie, because we just read it. Virgo, Cancer, Leo. Okay, people are putting their hats in. So let's see, Taurus. Somebody did guess Libra. Ooh, Lorna guessed Libra. Lorna guessed Libra. Lorna is winner for this, and this is like one of the harder ones to win because it's early in the game. So let's acknowledge Lorna and see what we see. I love this Housewives era. It's just like, it's one of my favorites, I really have to say. So Lorna, is it Kelsey as well? Let's see. Kelsey, I see Aries over here. Barbara, Virgo, Ikat, Aquarius. Lorna was the only one that I see with Libra. Am I wrong? Over here. Yeah, this one wanting to come out. Ooh, you have 10 of Pentacles, money, and you have a King of Cups. Okay, so I don't know if you're single. No, we're not reading Libra, but we are reading Lorna for a guess. So I don't know what to tell you. Are you looking for a boyfriend? If you are, put yourself out there everywhere. Somebody with money and a big heart in one is going to be there. So you might actually meet this person through a family event, through something that's happening. 10 of Pentacles covers everything from a big house to the wills, to family, to the ways we live, to the ways we are raised, to the foundations of who we are, to our attitudes, to our relationship with money, to how we accumulate money. This is telling you on the right path, right? And this is kind of like going in a good direction. But King of Cups is that somebody who, but it's kind of weird because like if you're grown, if you grew up in an environment where money and prestige is important, and many of us baby boomers and Gen X kind of like have been raised with those principles, and that's why you exalt rich people, politicians, celebrities, and we see where that got us, right? Now the King of Cups, he's not unnecessarily poor, but he has something that is intangible, that is like, a loving attitude. Hey, here is the shoulder. He doesn't care what you have. And to this person, you cannot sell yourself on, look what I have achieved. Not at all. He doesn't give a shit. In fact, he might walk away if this is the attitude you have. So you need to kind of like almost separate these two things and say, okay, I know who I am. I'm safe and secure with myself. And now maybe I'm a complete beginner and I cannot use this as a leverage for an emotional world. And this is somebody who can be a master teacher over here. It almost looks like this guy is enjoying his beer over here. And that's kind of like good to see with the King of Cups. I would more or less put it with the King of Pentacles. But there's like somebody emotionally who is there for you, can work. And that's one of the loveliest partners that you can have, right? King of Cups, because they take you on emotional journey. My apologies, I didn't take the next one. Oh, no, I did. Sorry, which one was the next one? Libra. So let me put the other one. So hopefully you like this, Lorna. My parents didn't have a lot of money, but they provided the best they could. So we'll see. Well, this is like more or less about you. My parents were just like that as well. My parents were actually very, very poor. They lived in a room when I was born, literally in one room that didn't have anything. Renters for many, many years. My dad was still at university. My mom was the one working. And my mom had to walk to a completely different part of the town, which was not small, like an hour and a half walk in every direction, because they couldn't afford that much money for food if she didn't make the sacrifice. So yeah, but then they kind of like didn't have that value of the money is the only thing important. So we did develop the other stuff, but they were not spiritual either. So that is kind of like interesting to kind of like look on that end. So Lorna, got your email. Let me just send this to Kylie. Kylie, I'm sending you Lorna. Hopefully you can join her in. Let's see, Libra, you're next. Let me just put your thingy here. And let's do the timestamp. Boy, I'm really slow today, but I hope you don't mind. We can kind of spend this time together. I'm spending lots of time these days studying French, listening to French. I took some courses. I didn't think it would improve, but it did improve. I understand quite a bit, especially when they don't speak as fast as they do. Man, they speak like 3 times the speed of English. And I speak English too fast because Croatian is also very fast. So I'm finally getting to the point. I'm purchasing privates with somebody. And last time that I had instructions, privates, I was talking the whole hour and I didn't even realize, because usually it's a struggle to think of the word or what is the proper formation of the sentence. I was just blabbing. And she goes, oh my gosh, you're finally relaxed. You can kind of finally do it. So I need a few more things like that, a few more weeks like that in order for me to break through into, okay, I'm starting to speak kind of a thing. Okay, so there you go, guys. Start guessing. Let me just take another one. So going to be another one here, waiting for you. Which one are you? And let's go Libra. Libra, this one wants to come out, this one wants to come out, and this one wants to come out. So you have 2 of Swords, you have Temperance, and you have Ace of Swords. Well, that one is relatively easy, Libra. First of all, isn't this you? Balance. But what are you balancing? You are balancing, you're finding yourself in a confusion, and that's kind of like your modus operandi. You always dwell in that confusion. You know how Scorpio likes, like, bring it on, I will die for it, and I'm going to reinvent myself, and almost like can work in that space. For most of us is like kind of a thing, right? For you, that space where most of us feel uncomfortable is like always kind of like being on these 2 sides of the teeter-totter, which can be very unnerving even for you, especially very unnerving for the others. So sometimes you drop everything and drop everybody just in order to get more in the middle, and that's where you're supposed to be. Kind of like your whole life is V. It should be V, kind of like a thing. It's almost like inverted V when you look at how these scales are positioned. Like there's like this thing that is holding it and scales, but I kind of like see it more like a V that has to come down in that middle. So 2 of Swords is showing that V to me, so that's why I always connect it with you. And there is like a struggle between your head and between your heart. It's interestingly enough, usually when you have that kind of like conflict, people tell you follow your heart. And I never found, and I'm an air sign, and Libra is my original ascendant. It's a Leo as of recently. I never found that this works for air signs. If this shows up for a water sign, I probably would have a different interpretation. So even if you're Libra, but you have lots of water in you, take this advice with a grain of salt. So I'm telling you here basically that you need to think through that non-emotionally, that you need to think through, oh, I love him very much, but hey, he cheats on me, he's married, kind of like a stuff. Oh, he's married, this makes no sense, off you go. That's kind of how Libras and air signs think, right? It's almost like a computer program. You come to some kind of like space where you need to make a decision, and then it's left or right, and you only have those options, right? For you, however, you're always having the third one, that non-decision, the space, and sometimes that space is not actually going anywhere, it's a circle, and sometimes you spin in those circles. But technically, again, you need to go left, right, but there is one more direction that most people forget. You can go back, and that's exactly what I see you'll be doing. There is like some non-decision that is kind of like being made, and the reason why it's not being made is because you are believing that something can work. You're believing that something can be glued. And this is going against everything that you know logically. So it's not believing your heart, it's not believing your mind. It's literally being in that non-space, in between earth and heaven, as I call it. And this is like almost like in fairy tales, you have this kind of space in between that is very important. And that's the temperance. And that's kind of like that celestial balance. It's telling you, I'm merging two very different elements. I'm merging horse and I'm merging men, and I'm making that centaur, right? And look, this is like not half horse, half man. It's a completely different creature that has this ability of now having this enormous physical strength in addition to that human mind. So hence you can kind of like go different spaces, and it's like speed. There's also something, the messages here for you guys, there's something that is coming which is going to be very fast. There is going to be some idea of some sort that you need to reach this decision. And Ace of Swords is victory. So that's the coming back. You're going from 2 to 1. And there is like the feeling, hey, I have made the right decision. You're actually feeling very happy and very, very pleased with yourself, my dear Libra. So I hope this helps, and let us go to see who is next, and if somebody have guessed. Oh, I'm having guesses. We have Sagittarius, Cancer, Sagittarius, Scorpio. Anybody else? I'll get to the mods group chat when I can. Please understand. Yes, Kylie is in Sunday early morning, so Lorna, give it until tomorrow for her to figure it out. But she's really good, and I'm going to Barbie. I hope it's okay with you. Send her your number so she can join your inner group. It's kind of fun. It's not that we blab all the time, but I have learned that Kylie was going through really difficult time. They have all these floods in Australia, and it's kind of weird how I like this little community. We are more connected. So you're not looking just at a little pond and you're finding about this. Like my brother, for example, who lives in Croatia, is now all upset about this war in Ukraine, because it can trigger war everywhere in Europe. And he has been in one war. If you remember the war in Yugoslavia in 1990, he said, there's no, pardon my language, fucking way I am going in war again. I'm coming to you in Canada. So I'm alert all the time, and my phone is always open. Just in case this happens, especially for him, he has to leave the country somehow hidden in order to arrive here, because they can block all mails of leaving. Kylie, on the other hand, has a son who has been in a region that flooded. They had evacuation. It's lots of political fighting, which is everywhere, right? And so it's really interesting. And meaning Yogi and me, we are bitching about the prices in the store. I was like shocked that I have to pay just to get a bread and a few cold cuts or something. So let's see who is going to be the winner over here. So, oh, Jasper Clausen, I like the name. Did anybody guess? Look at Kelsey and Jasper. Jasper, you just walked in here and you already are going to get a mini read. I think many people are going to be really pissed off, but that's the way it is. Thank you, Jasper. It takes one to know one, right? So let's So this one is, I'll keep forgetting if I don't have it here. This is how my brain works. So we are going to do the Jasper. Who was the first? Let me see. Who said Capricorn? Jasper was first and Kelsey was second. So Jasper, let's see what do we get here for you. We have Ace of Cups. You have almost the opposite of Lorna's reading, right? She had like 10 of Pentacles. The tens and ones and pages are very similar. Just kind of like the same personality, different wardrobe kind of a thing, right? So it's almost like you're on a path of enriching yourself emotionally and you are willing to open, or it's possibility of relationship and flirting. And I don't know, Jasper, if you are male or female, but this kind of like talks about maybe attraction to a man, or it can be a man in your life that is going to be very, very important. It can be also a father figure, or maybe somebody who was more of a provider, but not so much of somebody who has been able to coach emotionally, or who is filtering everything through the value of money and value of the coin that we have. So Jasper, tell us about your sign, your moon sign, so maybe that way I can even kind of interpret it more, right? So if you are a woman, however, this can talk about opening yourself up to somebody who is possibly very important. And this King of Pentacles can be a big boss, or a person with business, person with money, person with success, person who kind of like really takes care of every single detail, who wears really nice suits, so you can see from a million miles that this was like really handmade, hand adjusted, and they're always put well. Very contrary to me, because I walk outside in pajamas, so this is not walking outside in pajamas kind of a thing, right? So this is something that is very positive. So you're opening it up, but you have to be careful. Like, if you want emotions, you're getting something else. Will you be willing to adjust? Or maybe do you have something that you can contribute to this person? Because just because people have money doesn't mean they have spirituality, they have emotional ability, and we shouldn't feel less worthy just because the value in the society is based on money. It's just basically, hey, I have something to contribute. So this is actually very positive. So your Capricorn, Sun, and Sagittarius rising. That's interesting, because Capricorn is like literally what I see here. It is like somebody who is kind of like put properly. Capricorns, in my opinion, are the most ambitious sign. Sure, or earth signs are able and positioned to acquire this 3D wealth, if you wish. But Capricorn in particular, like if you really watch any politics or celebrity, Capricorn might not be the president or the ultimate boss, but it's going to be a decision maker or somebody who pulls the strings behind the surface. And it's going to be the person who will be so smart that they stay positioned while others are just changing, such as, somebody who works in administration is very powerful, everybody's changing, the presidents are changing, this person is still there and has like their clout. So that could mean that there's like something to learn, even though usually Queen of Pentacles represents Capricorn, and I think this would be Taurus. So there's like a Taurus of some sort, or Taurus attitude that is going to be very present. And then you have Ace of Cups, which is water. So Aqua Moon and Capricorn Sun is very difficult because it's almost the opposite, right? Because the Sun is the father, Moon is the mother. So the father is saying, we are going to have, peace. Oh, did you actually ever watch the Star Wars from, what's his name? Eddie Izzard? It's like a Darth Vader going to the canteen. kind of like, I want my, a pasta arrabbiata kind of a thing. So this is somebody very stern, like Darth Vader kind of like a style. But your kind of like a feminine side is like quirky. Like you're like all together. You come on a date. People maybe think you are successful, but they also could think that you're boring. And then you come up with something really quirky and you go, whoa, like, this is such a fun person. So that's really interesting. So this is good. It's something to really, really enjoy. So I really hope this really helps. Mars in Cancer doesn't help a lot. Especially somebody should not mess with your money, and your financial situation is very, very important. Kelsey, my dear, let's see what I hope this helps. Just friend, welcome to live reading. Keep in mind that we are in live, that every single sign can actually have messages for you, and that's kind of like really, really good to have. First house, that's interesting because it's the house that you show to the others, and it's not as important as the other houses that are actually influences on the outside, but it's telling you how you can influence the world, which is really, really great. So we have Six of Cups, pink lemonade. Man, when was the last time, guys, you had pink lemonade? I don't remember. Death of Lovers, 6 and 6. Whew. Don't like readings like that, Kelsey. Somebody from the past is re-emerging. I just cannot read it any other way. Somebody who was dead is coming back alive. The Six of Cups always talks about that nostalgia. But this doesn't have to necessarily talk about a person. It can talk about our desire for something that we had. Our desire, like you used to wear fluffy little booties when you were like 5-year-old, and now we are like 45 and you see that and it just triggers the thing in memory, and it's, I just want it. I don't care it's not proper, I just want it. You buy them and you feel really good about it, right? So that's kind of stuff that Six of Cups brings back to our life, a flavor of something from the past. And pink to me suggests it's tinted, it's skewed, like you really don't have a really good read because it's really emotionally important to you, or it's important for what you're going through. And for you, it's really important for your emotional development. Again, this is a good interpretation of Death card because we need to throw something out when the bugs attack it, right? So kind of like what is really happening here. Something got stale, or maybe somebody else ended something and now they're open. So what you will need to do here, if somebody comes back in your life, or if you allow them in your life, let's put it this way, you will start romanticizing them. This also can literally be linear. You can invite somebody in your life, then you can dump them, and then you meet somebody else, or redo this relationship at this time. It works, except this is like Thelma and Louise, where this is not going great, going down over here, right? And that's kind of like what would confuse me, but I initially kind of drew the cards. Or it can be seen that something that has been dead is really like kind of like being revived. And I don't know, for some reason I keep thinking it's somebody from your past, not just past, but really back to high school, really back to university or the formative years. Just be careful with this relationship or this newfound connection, because it might not be very positive for you, but in any case is going to help you rework some situations in your life, and that is going to be very important for you. So let's jump onto this Capricorn. And if you guys always guess the signs as you are kind of like hitting it today, we are never going to have these lives for 4 hours. I actually don't mind. Like, I just really enjoy spending time with you. But right now, let's pay attention to Capricorn and see what is in the cards for you. Capricorn. Barbara B, it's not individual reading. It could be seen this way. I start integrating more things to make it more, I guess, fun. So we always guess the next sign, as I will kind of like right now pull the next one. So whoever guesses gets a one card or two card reading. So, but otherwise it's just a general reading. And which reminds me, I need to have my sip of a coffee. Welcome, Kelsey. I hope this means something to you. Feedback is always appreciated. We can always learn. I'm always, oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys remember, I was asked for feedback in my letters when I send you the reading, and when I get it, and oh, this is what it is. And you always learn from it, and kind of like hindsight is always 2020. So let's see. Jinx Barbara me. Let's see. Capricorn. Oops. This one wants to come out. You have 10 of Pentacles. Of course. Why? How would Capricorn... Ooh, what is it? 8 of Cups. And then it's the Fool reversed. So 10 of Pentacles. It is weird because I don't see other people here. And that's what I'm trying to feel, what I need to feel. It's almost like that she has her own ball, but I really have to tell you that the very first thing I have seen in this card was Russia, and I saw this Kremlin over there, like, you know, that the kind of like little picturesque thing from Moscow. That's the first thing that crossed my mind, and she almost looked like the fairy tale creature that is walking around, and she can kind of create something. So whether Capricorn, you're very political and there's like something connecting to that, because that's what I'm getting, and you're going there because that's what the 8 of Cups really talks about. Also, 8 of Cups here is almost like not walking away. It's almost like arriving to something, and it's arriving from something really good. And you see, new meaning of 8 of Cups is usually is the walk away card. You walk away to unknown, which could mean walking away to war. This person is here leaving all the cups, right? But he or she is moving toward us with his pet rabbit, which is giving me this idea that there's like something around Easter that is really, really happening. Or maybe you're looking forward to something that is going to happening that you feel very excited about, but you're not going to in the end go through with something. This also can talk about some kind of financial support or some finances that are kind of like included in it. Feeling satisfaction in the place in life where you are right now or how you are right now. So that is really interesting over here, my dear Capricorn, because usually you are the sign that needs to feel comfort, right? That needs to feel that okay, when you see the goat in the nature, it's honestly, I don't know how it is. I cannot walk straight line without fearing that I'm going to slip, I'm going to fall on the ice, and we have still snow and ice everywhere. It was supposed to start to rain today, but it still didn't, and I have to after this go and buy wine to prepare mussels in wine sauce. I was expecting flood and kind of doing that. But goats in the nature just keep jumping on the tiniest freaking little thing on the freaking precipice, and they're doing that very successfully. They have these slit eyes, which is adapting to the light, just like cats, right? And they can really climb very, very high, which I always equate with them being very successful in life, and they're poised to be very successful. Well, side note about Capricorn, my brother has one daughter that is a Capricorn, and she's almost like an alien in our family, because none of us really have these monetary principles that money is important, money, money, money. To me, money is the means of purchasing things that you want. So, you know, like, I mean, hey, I want this, I want this. That's why it's so weird that I'm not buying a new computer. I'm still stuck on HP, is not fixing my computer. But his daughter Mia is living in a different world. No, I need to have Burberry. I like Burberry, and Burberry is good. This crap, not good. This good. It's going to last. And she's almost like independent within her family because she thinks in a different way. But there is like something about this Fool And the Fool is basically representing God in tarot. And God is descending into this 3D dimension, which could be like a holodeck, where we are playing out our dreams or playing out our problems and coming from a different dimension to kind of like do that, to work on it. Because in a different dimension, everybody already knows what the solution is, how you should feel. No. You really want to feel it, because this whole life, whatever it is, like 70, 80, 90 years that we live, out there is like just an instant, right? So you're really intensifying this feeling, and depending on which level you are you just learning your ways around it, or are you on a spiritual level and you're picking up really difficult choices, being a serial killer, for example, and learning how that is, or being a girl in India or in Africa. These are very difficult spiritual lessons. We here, not more or less, we have it easy here in North America. So the lesson that is the best to pick here is to be a healer, right? Because that is what is needed to heal the rest of the world. And that's the whole unity message we need to learn. And this is kind of like almost quote unquote inspection. If you really think about the Fool, God is coming to see, okay, how this feels, because you're constrained with gravity to start with. But also gravity gives you these beautiful blue skies and gives you this beautiful ability to actually experience everything that we have, because it's not only gravity, there are lots more to it, right? Venus also has, I think, gravity, but they also have acid environment, which nobody can survive in. And it's really interesting when the Fool comes reversed. It talks about gods are not on your side, or gods are not on the side of this project, or look, you jump into it, you take a risk, you're going to fall flat on your nose. And that kind of would make sense in perspective of your sign, because this little doggo that we see over here is basically not the cutie little kind of pet we have that is loyal to us and wants to die for us. This is the society. So if this is kind of like coming, let's say in the reading for Aquarius will go society, who cares? But for you, in order to climb, you need society. You pay attention to what people think, how they think, and how you present yourself. So for you, this is very important. It's going to, I think, almost happen that you will find socially inappropriate. And that's why you're going to decide something against the decision that maybe it was in the first place. Or you're just going to declare it's futile, you're not doing it, it's not working, whatever. That's kind of like a thing. So, Capricorn, boy, I'm having long readings. I could have done as well monthlies. Okay, like to do it. Let's go next. Who guessed? Was it this one? Oh, yeah, that was this one. Who guessed Gemini? Gemini, did anybody did? Virgo next, Scorpio next. No, I don't think. Do we have any Gemini here, guys? Gemini. No? This is the next one. So, let me put the stamp here. Because if it isn't any Gemini right now, then all of us need to focus, because we are getting our own messages here, okay? Let me put your little icon with the two things in it. Oh my gosh, want to see my Geminis at home? Where is this picture I took of Safi in Matrix? I should take more pictures. Did you notice that Safi is not feeling connection to this room as she did it when I lived in Toronto? Here, look at that. Isn't this kind of like almost Gemini sound? A sign? Look at how much she admires her. No, I don't want this in a bin. Didn't I? Failed to bin. Okay. But then this morning, again, they're like sleeping. They just can't wait for me to get up, and then they just go in the warm spot, and that's where they curl up. So Safi is getting older. Matrix is older. I think he's about 4 years older, which is bringing, hey, you know what? We are middle-aged, all of us over here. So let's do the Gemini. Oh, Lorna is Gemini sun. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Lorna. So we have 7 of Swords. Ouch. But then we have 10 of Swords. Ouch again. Lorna, I keep getting the same, and you have the Devil. Be very careful, Gemini. Lorna. These cards are telling me about a betrayal. These cards are telling me that there is a need. You're experiencing a feeling that you want to retrieve something, that you want to speak your words, that you want to say how you feel. Seven of Swords in this particular deck is, look at, interesting, right? Because in each Seven of Swords card, the person takes few swords and it's looking behind, looking backwards. It's almost like going under guise of the night and taking stuff. And it's generally interpreted as a thief or somebody who is not good, right? Up to no good. But I always kind of like meditate on cards and frequently meditate on cards. And recently I had some really weird dreams. So Seven of Swords was one of those meditations when I said, so wait a minute, sometimes we need to use sneaky ways to go and claim what is rightfully ours, right? And it's never a good situation because of that sneaky part, either us or them. But this is like where we are. But there's like something, and I really don't think this is Gemini. I'll be really honest. I feel that somebody is actually doing it to you and causing pain. And look at how painful this card is. Like these swords are wavy, and it almost like suggests to me energy cutting you through every single piece. They are all positioned on chakras over here and rendering this person completely immobile and completely unable to kind of like claim herself. So this is basically betrayal going in a certain direction. And it's so weird that you're still staying in a situation, and the devil is usually giving you reasons to reason with yourself why you continue certain things. I can do this. Yes, I will do this. Kind of like, did I not have a Zoom at one point, and that Zoom, what, it didn't really work? Oh, it shows. It's so weird. It shows in my recording software, but it doesn't show over there. Or I guess maybe I can zoom a little bit more just to do it. It's really weird, Gemini. The devil, almost like this is not easy, but this is the major arcana. So what I would like to warn you here, and I'm trying to look for this video to even zoom it more if I can, and configure video, just do it a little bit more. So this is really telling me that you are quote unquote bought, or you are really talking yourself into staying in a situation which is not going to be productive for you, or you are really you're really codependent, meaning you are like with a toxic partner, or somebody is gaslighting you over here, and it's going to be a situation. It's a such clear message, and it's almost like similar message to what you learn ahead, because there's another 6 coming through. It's what is happening is karmic. There's something that needs to be released, and how do we release things is we face the pain, we deal with the pain, we don't necessarily jump on the knife to harm ourselves, but we just kind of like say, if this happens, I have the tools how to deal with that. The devil is, however, tantalizing us to stay in a bad situation for too long, right? If there is a fire in your house, you leave the house. Tendency of coming back in, the more time elapses, the more dangerous it becomes, right? So that's what the devil goes, but hey, your precious possessions are there, but hey, you need to go, hey, and then you die. Then you really, really die. So be careful. This could be somebody who is giving you a very, very wrong advice because it is serving them. It's something that they want. It's something that they want to kind of like pull the strings over something, whatever that is. So guys, let's go next one. Sorry, Laura, it's not the most positive reading. My apologies, but I just have to say, oh, there's a Tina. She's also Gemini. So we have guesses over here for the next one. It's kind of like, ouch. The next one is, who do we have? We have Capricorn, we have Cancer, Scorpio. Do we have next sign? No, who guessed? Like where does it start? Where does it stop? Lorna is Gemini. Okay, nobody guessed because we have. Come on, guys. Guesses, guesses, guesses. I'll give you to guess. I'm going to have some water while you're guessing it. Scorpio. Okay, from Kylie. Anybody else wants to throw their hat in? Have another Scorpio? Virgo. Ikat, I know she's going to go with Aquarius. I already know. Her take. You need to enter it though. Like, it takes one to know one. That's it. I'm opening. And we have Cancer this time around. So let's see what comes on that front. Sagittarius. Nope. No, it's a little bit different energy. Did we have a water sign today yet? No, we didn't. So it's the first water sign. That's going to be the next one. So let's see what we have. We have Two of Swords. We have Queen of Wands, and I need to put two things. I need to put a stamp first. It's like so many things to do, and honestly, guys, I love my Thursdays, my Saturdays slow, very slow. I wake up early, but I read in bed. Then I take a long breakfast, and it's just like I'm waiting for this to happen, to our live, and then I'm also taking my sweet time, which is good for you, I guess. So Two of Swords and Queen of Wands. And then you have Ace of Wands. So, Cancer. Interestingly, none of that is your element. So it's hot water, boiling water, possibly, because you have a Queen of Wands flavor over here. Look at that kitty in a Queen of Wands. It's not subtle. It's bigger than her. If you really think about it, just add a tail, and the size is much bigger. It's again some duality. There is like something that is pulling in two direction. It's like between yes or no, or between two jobs, or between two partners. Queen of Wands, if you're female, you kind of like feel, you know what you want and in which direction you go. It's a very logical mind. It's very action oriented. It tells me that you're a person who likes physical activity as well, and that kind of like is giving you strength, versus slow meditation. It's almost like pulling strength away from you. So decision is made here. Like, I don't know which sign this was, that it was backtracking. This is also backtracking, but it's really interesting with all of that things in the sky. It almost looks like there's like some kind of like organism, and I don't know what this is. It almost looks like stars. I don't know if you guys can tell what this is. They look like stars, but I just have to go with my intuition. It almost looked like, as I said, some organisms that are creating their own colonies of some sort, and especially it's coming from her wand. I guess the butterflies or the bees, it could mean something like that. And look at that enormous owl over here. And it took me forever to learn how to pronounce owl, because it's spelled O-W-L, not A-W-L. So why is it not pronounced owl? Which everybody laughed because my pronunciation, but yeah, it's interesting English, right? So there is like sitting on a wise decision, and the wise decision is going to be something from the past, something that maybe you have learned, that you have been in a similar situation and you have learned how to deal with that situation. You know that saying, we need to learn to be bigger than our problems. So as we learn the situation, how to handle it, you once run into budget issue, then you learn how to budget and you don't have those issues, sort of things. So this decision is backtracked, and even if you say yes to something you might have steps back and say, no, we're going to do this way. Ace of Wands is always to me talking about something from the past, talking about maybe a revisiting decision, or going back with an old partner, or going back to the project that you have put on a back shelf, on a back burner, something like that. That's kind of like what I see over here. So I would say, my dear Cancer, that's good. It's feeling a little bit outside of your own element, but nonetheless you're going to feel strong. You almost like you're not going to recognize yourself with this, because the messages that you're getting are fast, are to the point, and they're very direct, and you are in absolute complete control without being blamed or accused that you're manipulative, which sometimes happens. Hello, stay focused. Good to hear. New people. It's so strange today. Straight. I dream about cats and they were big. It's really interesting. Well, I was like amoeba. That's right, amoeba. I didn't know how to say it in English. I was dreaming that I was like, and this is not my lifestyle. I used to be a party girl when I was younger, and I'm talking about my 20s. And then I really got my share out of it, like almost like for 10-15 years. And now you would not drag me out after 8 or something. It's just, no. Television, sleep, it's just like, I'm already set in my ways. But simply because I have already done that. So the dream that I had was me organizing some massive, like a massive party. Like it's the whole city that is a party, and has this like weird mushrooms, and it's like it's man-made mushroom, but they're like size 3 times taller than a human, and they're made to be almost like sun umbrellas. It's almost like Alice in the Wonderland kind of like a style, kind of thing. And I'm running the show kind of a thing, and then all of a sudden I'm finding myself just like, it's my personality. Oh, I need to get there, but like there's like a waving road, and I know the shortcuts because I know this is a stage, and then there are like exits. So I go in one of the shortcuts, forgetting it was rain. So I'm finding myself in some kind of slope, which is all some soil. And then I just like slip down, and then I'm climbing up, and in climbing up I'm realizing I have these disco shoes with heavy heels. They are silver shoes, and I would not wear this in my real life. Like, you would have to kill me to make me wear something like that. But nonetheless, I'm wearing this like I'm a drag queen of some sort in that dream. And I'm climbing through this mud, and I come back to the top, and there's no mud on the shoes whatsoever. And that's when I woke up. So dreams are really important, kind of like to see what it is. Whatever it is that I slipped in, I'm going to be coming back without getting dirt on me. And it's important. So you guys are all picking. Barb pick Cancer? Barbie. Oh my God. Let's do it. Let's do Barbie. Barbie. You're getting 5 of Pentacles reversed. That's actually good. That means that you're feeling that you can actually spend a little bit. I guess maybe you're feeling a pinch. Maybe having a King of Swords. Whew. Is there somebody, and this could be a lawyer. And then you have the Moon. Whew. So 5 of Pentacles is the situation. So what is she experiencing over here? She is trying to clean something, but everything is falling apart and breaking you down. So she has these dishes that she's not putting on the table and enjoying those dishes, but they're just there for her, and hence they become obsolete, and you trash them anyway. So what was the point of that in the first place? But King of Swords reversed, that kind of like gets upsetting to me. It's almost like phallic with him holding this big barbecue, for, you know, from where kind of a thing. And they're all, if you really look at that, kind of positioned in really that way. So somebody's being a dick. Just like, let's not beat around the bush over here, right? Something is happening. Something is coming to a halt. Somebody is damaging things in your life. So that's what I said. It could be a lawyer. It could be something legal. This red is kind of like not jiving well with me, but at least it's balancing this green. So something is broken over here. Something is happening that is not going to be the nicest thing. Sorry, Barbie, to say, but it can be a rough road. But it's really interesting that then you get this message. And I'm just wondering what is this. Does this mean something in North America? Because that I cannot even, I think this says cold cream. And for the life of me, it says snap-ons. What this is? Maybe it's a part of culture that I am not aware of. It almost looks like some kind of tickets. But to me, this talks about the intuition I'm getting is sweet dreams. The intuition I'm getting is do not give up. You need to position yourself to have this really, really high, how to say it, aspiration. Don't let this sidetrack you. Somebody's telling you you can't, so you need to believe that you can. I guess that's what I'm trying to say in not very eloquent way, right? So you need some rest. The moon is like exhaustion. The moon is like withdrawing to yourself. So that needs to be balanced with some emotional nurturing, and that's kind of like what the moon is over here. And it's going to be very, very important for you. So also make sure you kind of treat yourself. Ooh, you have a court on the 29th. You're not going to like it at all. At all. You might be shred into pieces. You might be told you deserve nothing. Sorry, Barbie, to tell you this, but also this is telling you, you know what? That's okay. You don't win all the battles. You just need to win the war. So you need to keep your eye on the target and on the goal. And just reconfigure. Just make sure here, I would say, because of King of Swords, it's words, that you don't say something that might cost you later. So kind of like put your Hollywood, the best Hollywood look, if you wish, the best kind of dream look. And also, you know, this could be a little bit about being a victim. And it's understanding that the people who attack the victim are never going to look properly. But if you engage with them, then people cannot see from the bundle that is kind of fighting back and forth, and they just like equalizing both of them. So just let them fall on their own face, and that's kind of like what I would say over here. So don't hold back. Why don't you tell us what you're really thinking? Ha ha ha. Sorry. I'm pretty transparent, you guys know that. So, are you guys guessing? Good dick? No, this one was not good dick. He thinks he has good one, but he isn't one. He isn't. So, it's a little bit of discrepancy, let's put it this way. Sip of coffee. And I didn't put, where I did. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boy, I'm taking it forever. So I'm going to speed up in the second part a little bit, but not at the cost of the readings. I'm just going to be a little bit more efficient. So, which is the next sign? It will be postponed as usual. It sounds to me like you'll get some words, something that you're not going to like at all. So it's weird because I thought that you would already have it in your hands. So Sagittarius, Taurus. We did Pisces, stay focused. It was the very first reading. If you want to scroll down to 28 minutes and 30 seconds, that's where you can read Pisces, if that's your sign. Okay, so we have Barbara. Barbara is the winner of this round, Aries. So, Barbara, let's see. Oops, it's flying away. Barbara, stay focused. She's focusing on Pisces. That's pretty much like Barbie, what you need to do. Like they tell you no, you say no, this is what I want, and that's kind of how it's going to look like. So, Barbara, this is what you got: 8 of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Magician. It's almost like you're proud about something. You're proud about some kind of accomplishment, but when you come and bring it over, it just collapses. It's kind of like, look at this is jello. It just melts, and it's not getting the results that you want. Something in your life is just not going to create something. But then it's telling you the point of this was not to succeed. The point of this is to know that you have everything that you need, right? You have learned a skill which was not for this particular project. It was for something to shelve it because it's going to be used later, right? It's one of something like transferable skill. Literally, this is telling you about skills and something that you want. I don't know if this is at work or in a relationship, that you know how to approach it. But you have two major arcanas, and one of them is the Tower. And Tower is like, look at her. She's like all happy that the sun is shining. But we know what sun is going to do to this jello. It's so weird. I'm also seeing numbers. I don't know if you guys see numbers. I see 3, I see 5, or 8 and a 5. And almost like this says Paris of some sort, or I'm just getting this feeling. But this jello is going to melt and look mushy, but the magician is there to save it. And that is really what is really interesting. And he's showing up here with a washing machine. And washing machine means spinning. So it's a skill. It's almost like a verbal skill that you are able to talk, or this could simply mean that you're able to talk yourself out of a situation that is not going to turn out to be as positive as it is. And this also could mean that you're blamed for, it can be seen, that you're blamed for something that you were supposed to be doing, to do some kind of like final touches of some sort, but it's not done in the end. So keep that in mind. So yeah, so let's see it. So the next one will be Aries, but after Aries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After Aries, we are going to have Doors. And then after Doors, I'm going to speed up the second part. So let me just put the stamp for Aries, and I need to put their own thing over here. Still have the Cancer over there. So, my dear Aries, let's see what I have here for you. I have Strength. I have Knight of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and 8 of Cups. Okay, the first sign that got a little bit more cards. So, this talks about lack of commitment and you being in that space in between. It's almost like getting so mythical, right? Look at here, we have the winged lion over here, right? And he is actually biting her hand. She's not petting him here. So it's almost like the strength upward here is negative and strength reversed is positive. Then we have, okay, let's call what it is. What does it look like? Does it look like a bird? It does look like up close, but I have to admit that it looked like a camel to me. So this is about some kind of like friendship or reliance upon something. It's really interesting that he's holding this arrow where the key over here is, he almost looks like the witch from the fairy tale. He's looking at this. To me, this is one of the most positive cards that I can see. So he has his coins over here. The little flowers are basically the people he has behind him. So there is like some fortitude that he feels very, very strong about it. But then is the Page of Wands. Something from the past is coming back to me. Actually, these two cards have the very similar feel at this stage. He has this beacon and it's kind of like shining light everywhere. So whatever this is, I would say dragon of some sort. It's also a winged creature with a really ugly tail that almost looks, if not a snake, it could be a snake of some sort. So it does have something of, I don't know, possible Sagittarius. Was this reversed? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think it was reversed. No, this one was reversed. This one wasn't. So that's kind of like where it is. And then you have like the Eight of Cups walking away from all this crap, and it's almost like no one have anything to do with that. I was never there. It's almost like you're going to go in a complete denial of ever been there, ever done that. It is so weird because my brother is Aries, and you have heard me talking about this card when we saw this, whatever it was, last. And I was telling how actually in this card I can see war and not walking into it, but walking away from it. Page of Wands can also, as I said, pages to me are very close to aces. And Ace of Wands is about reviving something or repeating something. So my brother said, I don't want to be another war. So I really hope that this is not war reading, because I don't want to do war readings. And I don't see war, even though the strength reversed could mean loss of strength. But as I said, he almost looks more positive reversed. And this dude, who should be very positive upright, doesn't look positive at all. So it's almost like look after yourself, kind of like see that you have a backing, my dear Aries. Kind of like read the signs from the past, something you have seen before, and you will know where this path goes, right? You already know the roadmap. And then maybe you're deciding that, hey, it's over, you don't want to deal with that, and you don't really want to go in that direction. So I don't know, maybe that's the issue over here that you're talking about. So guys, what we are going to do now, I'm going to remove this Aries. We are going to do doors. Maybe you guys want to explain what the doors are over there. So while I put one of those windows to shuffle the cards. So think of your questions, guys. And I'm just getting from a friend of mine a text that Tiger's girlfriend is winning this dog show. And this is a great news because it means they're going to come here, visit me, and also go to another dog shows here as well. So let's shuffle the cards. I'm going to have 3 groups: left door, center door, right door, door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. I'm just going to cut the deck, and then we are going to reveal what's going on here. And what did you guys pick? Oh my gosh, look at how fuzzy this is. It's just like showing very fuzzy on my camera, which is not making me very happy, and I hope it's not that fuzzy when you see it. So let's start. If you ask for door number 1, it's not as fuzzy to you. Aries is the god of war, I know, and it has this is it Greek that he wrote these planets, and the Mars and Jupiter to me are my favorite pieces. Woo! Number 1, 10 of Swords. The answer is no. It's no. It's something that is very touchy for somebody. Somebody doesn't have ability to deal with this right now, and you will actually be devastated as a result. Sorry to say. The door number 2, Queen of Wands. The answer is yes. She goes, okay, fine. It's yes on your terms. So this is kind of like a really kind of a good thing to go. Queen of Wands can also talk about going in legal direction, consulting somebody, an expert of a sort, and that can involve there to be a good solution. And then the door number 3 is Hermit. I love this card. Oh my gosh, this card is just like, it just went through my head. Oh, it would be so nice to take a bath right now. Like, these are my little kind of like treats for myself. I go in my jacuzzi. It's a very old jacuzzi, just like 4 jets, but it's so good. And look at all these soaps. Do they have Lux? They're all Lux. So this is a yes, guys. And especially if but it's really interesting, this hermit that is saying this decision depends on you. So this is making me feel that you might be going back and forth with your decisions, that you might say, I want it, well, I don't know if I want it, I don't know if I want it. So clearly it's telling you need to pamper yourself. And if that question is related to pampering, then definitely just like, push the button for yes. The hermit can also talk about mindfulness, release of some sort, spirituality, connecting to the universe as well, which sometimes we do it in the most mundane ways, like a bath, walking your pet, petting your pet, cooking, whatever is kind of like that you really want. Oh, like some people have 3 on a clock. It's summer in Australia on Sunday. It's just like so amazing. It's a morning for some people here, how actually much of the time difference we have. So I wanted to sleep for days today instead of working. So that's it. Like, that's what you and I have in common, that little Libra, a little bit kind of like, hey, it's time to pamper myself whenever we get into the lazy mode. Okie dokie. So the second part I'm speeding up, because literally I should finish all signs in 30 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. So let's go, because my wine, like there is like this little market that is right next to me, and they actually they close at 2:30. And keep in mind that it's like 1:33 right now over here. So if I don't make it, I'll just go to the regular store and get wine. But there's like one guy that I really like his local wines, so that's where I want to head. So who guessed? Anybody's guessing? Guys, it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier to guess. We're going to go down. The last two, I guess I'm not going to let guess. Sagittarius, Virgo. Anybody else throwing the hat in? Anybody else? We have Scorpio. Okay, so let's take a new one. I don't think I had a Scorpio. Yes. So Scorpio, let's put your thingy here. I just watched last night that movie with Ryan Reynolds. What's the other guy that I like a lot as well? Also, both of them are Scorpios, I believe. Adam Project or something. It's kind of a kid movie, but it's really, really good. It's nothing that you want to remember. But I'm so shocked with the Oscars coming up that what was this? Up in the Sky? What a terrible movie. Guys, did you watch this movie? It's just like, I couldn't see the movie, and that happens very, very rarely with the lineup of the actors. Whoa, it is 0 out of 10. It's just like, damn, no props for anything. And it was so weird to see Leo Caprio as a regular guy. It was just so weird. But they're telling about the big messages. I guess it is there, but it's an awfully long movie to tell something you can tell in 2 sentences. So we didn't have Scorpio, right? My tab is Kittle size, so not danger there. In my tab, if I take a bath and if I put salts in there, I'm in danger to kill myself because it gets so slippery. I have to wait for all the water to go out and wash the bathtub because it's so deep. It's like, is it 2.5 feet deep or something like that, right? Or 2 feet deep. So we have the Emperor. We have 10 of Swords. And then we have 2 of Pentacles. See, this 10 of Swords is very uncomfortable for many people to see in the reading. You're having some kind of clash with an authority or clash with somebody. It is massive, massive. And you lose, my dear Scorpio. It's just like something that is kind of like hard. And then you're going to be devolving in between the worlds for some reason. So this can interpret in different ways, that you basically put your foot down, that you want something serious, that you want to go in certain direction, that you want somebody to commit, you're asking for commitment, or maybe somebody asking of you to commit. It can be that way, seen that way. And it's not resolved, it's somewhere. It's kind of like it's right now on the table. That whole enchantment of the fairy tale is now gone, the rosy glow is gone, and it is what it is. This is not a situation that you as a fixed sign want to dwell in. The Emperor is really interesting that you're showing up, because in combination with your sign, this actually means Tower, kind of like how we interpret, because the Tower means something has to be rebuilt. And it's really interesting. Then we also have 10 of Swords, which talks about being on the bottom. For most of us, this is like, oh shit moment, right? For you is like, bring it on. It's almost energizing you, and that's why it surprises me that then we end up over here. And look what is happening here. There's like a horsey, and he's standing on a horsey, which is like not very safe. Then he has this checkerboard, both of them, which means there are like so many different influences. We don't know what is good, we don't know what is bad, and on top of it, he's trying to balance something else, and there is like this infinity, not knowing how to get out of the situation. So is somebody here unavailable? Is if you're like wishing something that seems to be really hard to reach, hard to achieve. I don't know. Something like that would be really happening here. Altogether, this adds to, is it 16? 16, and 16 is the Tower, so this is another time. 10, 12, 16, this is another time that the Tower is showing up. And 16 is also coming down to 7, which is the Chariot, and Chariot is like your sister water sign, meaning that you need to assert yourself, meaning that you need to know what you want and go toward this goal. So it's kind of like something is not resolved, something is not settled, and this is not a situation where you would feel comfortable. You feel more comfortable in this 10 of Swords than you feel in this 2 of Pentacles, because 2 of Pentacles feels like truce, but not in a good way, that nobody's feeling comfortable, and this is the problem. It's almost like tension that I can see over here, and not a good one. So for example, if you had an argument with a partner, and after that argument you start talking, but it's not lovey-dovey talk, it's not supportive, it's not fun, like everything goes through your head. So that's kind of like what I'm describing here. Not fun, Scorpio, I know. I prefer to tell you the truth over here, kind of like what is going on. But what is the good news over here is that you're not letting somebody's self-importance kind of like come in a way. You are claiming your own value, and you're stating your case, which is really, really important kind of thing. So, oh my gosh, I watched Erin Brockovich last night. Kylie, You and Me, again. This is so weird. It was so good. I forgot so many details, and the woman from CSI was there. Didn't even know she was there. So weird. Lorna was a weird movie, I know. It's just we are talking probably about the other one. So guys, did you guess which one is the next one? Barbie and Knitting put Virgo in and Aquarius, or is it from the last time? I don't know. I think this is for this time. So let's see what we have. It's a Leo. It's a Leo. So we are going Leo next. So let's put Leo, your little furry head, the kitty with lots of head fur. And let's put your stamp here. Okay, Leo. Are you guys putting it in? Well, anyway, nobody did still give me Leo. So we have 10 of Pentacles. I watched Lupin last night again, but completely in French. kind of like was doing that stuff, which was really interesting that I was able to follow. So when you watch on YouTube some instructional videos, they speak slower, but when you watch real French, it's like blah. And I was like so happy that I didn't guess everything. I didn't know everything, but I would say I was on 85, maybe even 90%, which made me really happy about that. So, 10 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, and 2 of Pentacles. And which sign is this? Which sign is this? Oh, Leo. Good thing that I put this little fluffy part, otherwise I would be lost again. So, Leo, financially sound, lovey-dovey, but then there's like something missing. Or is it that this somehow comes in the middle? That you're kind of like wondering, this Knight of Cups is like romance, is something flirtatious, is something that is really nice coming through, right? There's like a situation that is letting you hang in the air, that is letting you, like, it all boils down to the Hangman, to 12, right? That's kind of like where we are. There is like a situation where there is some kind of a reversal, which is instructing you that you really need to achieve the point where you can, I guess, just absorb things instead of actively, like, I mean, Leo is a fixed sign. Leo is an active sign. So that's why the fixed signs are showing in the world or in the Wheel of Fortune, because the fixed signs are holding, like, right? Hold me. I want to climb. Hold me. I want to build, like, we are the builders. We are holders, right? The others are maybe taking the doors down. They're doing the stuff. We are holding things, kind of like things. So this is who you are. So 10 of Pentacles is that security, like you are doing well financially. That is kind of like done okay. But there's a Knight of Cups, which tells me a romance is maybe happening, existing, or if it isn't existing, it's going to, because this is a really, really good thing. But remember, Knights are not necessarily permanent choices. Knights are something nice. It's a date. It's maybe enjoyment of a sort. Maybe it's something that seems to be leading in a kind of like solid relationship. But then why do we have this Two of Pentacles? That something is indefinite. That something is making us wonder. Something is making us kind of like stop and ask ourselves if we are making a right decision. This can also come in a way. It's really interesting that you have Pentacles and you have Cups. You don't have fire or air, which would be the closer elements to you. So this is really telling me that maybe you're evaluating somebody through the lenses of success or through the lenses of money or something, or you're wondering if they're like evaluating you. And so there is almost like a boundary. We have these bookends over here that are really happening. So that's kind of like really interesting, because it's really interesting. This person is shooting on this kind of like seahorse of some sort, and that's what I really like about pulling tarot, that is like so phantasmagorical that you kind of like really have to seek your own interpretation. And his little hat is really important. That is really staying there. So there is like raising above issues and enjoying it, but there is like still some status quo. It's almost like the message to you is just be in a receptive mode and in a receiving mode, and just to do almost like things that they want you to. You are not in control, quite the opposite. And actually not being in control is going to make you understand your situation and that person so well that you're going to thank me later. So just keep this in mind. Love the movie. Which one? Movie Erin Brockovich. Yeah. So strong messages from women, especially single mothers. Oh, Julia Roberts, like just killed it. It's just like, that's what I hate. That's why I stopped watching. And sorry, like, I know that many of you are Americans, and sorry for saying that, but I really stopped watching American things because they are becoming so polarizing, and women are portrayed in not natural way. They have to look ridiculously great in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Not all shapes and races are represented. So I'm more gravitating now to Australian, to British, to French, whatever, anything. Like I'm watching lots of Norwegian stuff, Korean stuff, and it's making me feel really, really much better. And you can see that being more normalized than it is here. So, all right. So, who is next? Let's remove Leo's thing here. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 left, but I have 5 more things in here. So there's like 2 more guesses, 2 more times that we are going to be guessing, guys. So what it is this one. Are you guys guessing? Let me see. They're called boobs, Ed. It's cute. Yeah, called boobs. It's kind of being 2 different languages, the language of the working class and the language of the sophisticated class clashing together, and seeing that not everywhere the one way wins. I kind of really like that. It's just kind of weird when you look at the same movies in different stages of life, that they really kind of like really help. So, all right. So we have Virgo, we have Sagittarius, we have Virgo, but I drew Taurus. So this one is before last. One is before last. So let's see. El Toro, a little kind of thingy here. And see. Here we go. My little Taurus. And let's see, what do I have here for you? So we have Judgment. Oh, we didn't have Judgment today. Isn't this like, I mean, big proverbial hourglass here? Hourglass to me always gives this symbolism of past lives and how things are kind of like culminating, and maybe, and this one wanted to come out. 5 of Swords. And then we have Page of Cups over here. So Taurus, which is weird. Usually Tauruses get very mundane lessons. You must buy the groceries. You're missing eggs on your shelf. You need to fix your shed. And they love this kind of stuff. Or that's for men. For women, you need to get your nails done. How about buying some nice, pretty necklace and some luxury kind of thing? I'm pretty sure my kitty Matrix, that I'm not sure about his birthday. I adopted him just before Halloween, so we celebrate his birthday then. But I have, the more I'm with him, more I see that he probably is Taurus. He likes luxury. If there is like a freshly ironed thing and something that is nice, he must be there. He positioned himself to look nice, and he likes nice colors, mind you. He just lost his, so it's kind of like all interesting. So Taurus, you have Judgment. So Judgment really, but it's upright, so it's a release of some sort. It can mean death as well, because it's combining with 5 of Swords. So it could be death in the family, and I really hope it's not you. But the reason why it's giving me a little bit goosebumps is because these 2 cards are giving me a very simpler thing. Like we have the cat, and he's standing on this cat, or there's like something that almost looks like the 2 massive paws, but they are actually lotus flowers. And it's almost like look at the star power over here. It's almost like circling up, and this almost looks like a little sperm. I'm just giving you how my brain works. This almost looks like a bicycle of a sort. Be very careful with driving. I almost like see motor vehicle accident over here, especially with 5 of Swords, and it's like something with documentation happening, which is really weird, because the Judgment is always talking about release. But this release, if this card combines with the other cards, it can bring difficulty in your life. So it kind of like can be separate like this. I can kind of like see it this way, that there's like some big hurdle, and then there's like emotional, and that's why I did say, you know, it could be death, because when you go to somebody's funeral, you give all the accolades even if you hate them. Right? That's kind of like how we have, okay, finally gone, at least let me kind of like say something nice, because you know I want to. But it's really interesting because it is really talking about a new direction of some sort, and I don't know why. And here talking about boobs, I see these big boobs. I don't know if you guys see it, but this could be her arms also being folded in her face. She's clearly sad over there. There is a horse, but almost looks to me like a seahorse of some sort. So it's not the power of some sort. So like we are talking about emotional over here, like something emotional is happening where you need to put things into words. And Five of Swords is not positioning it properly. Five of Swords is winning at any cost. Five of Swords is being devastated because somebody takes something away from us and trying to win it over, but we can't. We are just literally right now in a position we need to rebuild, recuperate in order to move forward. But then this Page of Cups arrives, which really talks about a revival, spring. Things are coming back in order. Yes, I can do it. So it's almost like there is like enormous weakness and feeling of loss, which is going to kind of like move into feeling better. But as I said, this does have a little bit ominous and weird feeling, and I'm really sorry to say that because I don't want to freak anybody out, but that's kind of like how kind of shows my Aquarius is showing. So guys, I really hope this can be as mild as, hey, you know, something happens and you just didn't like this chocolate ice cream and you were sad about that didn't have your flavor, but you found something. It can be just as simple as that. Tarot doesn't always have to be enormous, but can be as big as I said. So whew, I want to move forward from there because it just gave me bad vibes for some reason. Did we have any Taurus here, guys? Please give me your feedback. Please tell me what's going on. Maybe I kind of like get a better kind of like sense in my own head about what is going on. For the rest of you guys, you can start guessing. This is the last guess, very, very last guess. Oh, I got 2. So I'm going to open both of them. So if you guess any of them, see, being generous, then you can still get it. Your daughter is Taurus. Huh. So I really hope nothing really bad happens. So you're guessing. I almost dropped my ice cream cat, meaning and listening. There you go. I'm recently into tiramisu. Too much into tiramisu. Taylor loves tiramisu and he loves apple pie. So there is this place that I found. Ooh, that's what it is. Like I still have a few more minutes. I don't know if I'm going to manage to get one. Maybe I will. Okay, so we got Sagittarius, Virgo. Look at this, the door to Sagittarius. So we have Virgo. And we have Sagittarius. So we have Kylie and Knitting Yogi and Barbie. Everybody wins at this stage. Awesome. So we are going to go with Virgo first and Sagittarius second. But let me go in order. Barbara B guessed Sagittarius too. So Barbara, hello Heidi, welcome. So Barbara, you have Strength reversed, and you have Temperance, and you have 7 of Wands. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'm feeling here. So Strength reversed is telling me that there is like maybe the energy drain of some sort. You need to kind of like really figure out what you want. Maybe you're like spreading yourself too thin. You need to kind of like really figure out, list what you need to do. It's more or less task oriented reading that I see over here. List what you want to do and do it in order, kind of put your priorities. So that way you start scratching things off the list and doing it. But like it looks like you really want to kind of like refresh your environment, and you want to really look into details, and it's really calling for you to look into details. So that is kind of like important message over here. Thanks Heidi, appreciate it. um, so let's see, who was the next one? Kylie. Kylie. Kylie, we already have a card. Oh, you have a strength as well, but it's upright. Oh, you have Ace of Swords. And then we have Five of Cups. Interesting Five of Cups rendition here. Strength, Scrubbo, so pads. Did they really exist? Shines aluminum fast. I guess this is like, what do they call them these days? I cannot think of it. I know what it is. Like it's just little steel pads, I guess, right? And then Ace of Swords. So this is kind of like that something is stubborn, something is not living away, and maybe you need to scratch under the surface or push it a little bit stronger. But whatever the situation is, when you're kind of like scratching the surface to see what it is, you're winning. You are kind of like calling the shots here, Kylie. But be careful if you come across too strong. Then this Five of Cups, this beautiful martini, look at this, like three of them are kind of like spilled, and she's pulling her hair. Like she almost like gives me the feeling this is almost like you know, this is like the proverbial. It's not as bad as it would be in the other decks where you see this like sad figure, right? Going, is it Brillo pads? No, I don't think it's Brillo pads. I just cannot think of it, what we call it here in Canada right now. I'll Google, because otherwise it's going to bug me and I want to think about it. So Kylie, this Five of Cups is still a loss of some sort. So you need to really think about that you don't push it over. Let me see, what are they called? They're called SOS. That are called SOS or Scotch Brite. SOS, I think are called. Yeah, that's kind of like a packaging I recognize. I don't know if you guys have it in different countries. It's kind of the yellow packaging. It almost looks like the 50s as well, but clearly they're using the memorabilia. And I still have this Taurus here for some reason showing up. So hi, I hope highly this makes sense. Also, sword, just don't push it too much because it can really explode in your face. That you go from a big win to a big loss, and it's never a good direction to do that. Steel wool, yeah, it's a steel wool. It's just a brand, kind of like a thing, right? So, who was the next knitting yogi? You have the Nine of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. So this is freaking awesome. Nine of Pentacles is feeling on top of the things, feeling things are organized, and it's relating, you're Virgo, it's relating to your own structure, how you're positioning yourself in the world. You are really loving, and you really kind of like are maybe opening yourself to something. This is a really cool combination, because if you really think about it, these two are really connecting, right? He is organizing things properly. I don't know, are you doing some spring cleaning or home organization or moving of some sort? But there's like something that is telling me that you're really enjoying to do. This could be somebody coming, this could be your child of a sort, but this always talks about some new emotional beginning, which we might take and we might not take. But look, it's all clean. This cup needs to be filled. So it might be meeting somebody through an educational means. This could be a student of some sort, or it could be something really pragmatic. But it's really going to feel familiar, which could lead to a karmic situation, right? Because here you're cleaning those plates, and now after they're clean, they're being placed on the shelf. but there are also glasses on that shelf as well, as it is your beginnings. It's almost like a merge of the two, but in a good way, because for you being an earth sign, I mean, you have Aquarius in you as well, but like, I mean, the cups and pentacles are really giving you strength and kind of like going in that direction. So there it is. So welcome. So that's what's happening. So Virgo will go first, just because it's standing here in front of me, and I think this is it, right? No, there is like one more. So actually, let's put a Virgo here, and let's put your timestamp. So I know here, I don't think I'll make it to the first one. I didn't do ever in my life mussels, and apparently it's not that hard. You just need to cook them in wine and serve it, I guess, with salad as well. So let's do Virgo. Virgo, you have Two of Cups and you have Two of Wands. Let's continue, because the reading for Knitting Yogi, who is a Virgo, was just along those lines. And then you have a Knight of Pentacles reversed. Lots of decisions over here. It's really interesting because we do have two kitty cats here. We have two people. We have two glasses of wine. So everything is jiving. Everything is meshing. You feel a little bit cocooned. You feel protected. You're getting like, it's not like leave me alone, I'm just fine and I'm enjoying the sun. No, this is, hey, I really want to spend this joint time. And the Two of Wands could talk about indecision and where do I go from here, kind of a thing. Something occurs in your life that is so good that is making you reconsider or reshift your focus or your decisions or your path. This is kind of like where I see it. It's not making you reach the full decision. I can see here there is like a little bit of nostalgia. Knight of Pentacles is that proverbial friend, but in this particular deck, he doesn't seem to be that friendly. So maybe you're feeling that leaving behind what you would need to quote unquote sacrifice, leaving behind. See, sometimes I use words because I see the images in my head that kind of like comes to me intuitively, and then it's kind of like hard to interpret putting the proper words. So what quote unquote you would need to leave behind is not going to come at a high price to you, and you are staying in the situation thinking through how to go forward, what to do. But what you're experiencing seems to be really good. Is my neighbor leaving? Is my neighbor leaving, Tiger? How dare she? Yeah, my neighbor and I are meeting tomorrow for the first time. I invited her for a coffee. So, oh, going in the wrong deck. No wonder, it just looked weird. So, the next one is, and anybody who is hearing this Virgo reading, guys, just back a little bit more, maybe 5 minutes before your reading started, because you're going to hear the reading for a Knitting Yogi who won, which sign it is. By the way, you're invited to come to the lives so you can get that. And it was a lot of that over there as well, so it's almost like you should fuse both of that to see. So now we are going into Sagittarius. So let's put Sagittarius here. Hello, Savvy girl. Hello. How are you? I love you. You love me? Do you love everybody alive? A lot? A little bit? That little bit is good because you don't notice people. But you're so loving, aren't you? Are you just saying good things? Oh, it's serious. That's really good. I am glad to hear this. So there's Shafi girl who showed up. So let's put a timestamp here for Sagittarius. It's 2:15. That's my birthday. So it's going to be something that you're connecting to Aquarians, my dear Saggies. So we'll see it. So let's see. We have Knight of Pentacles. Oh, I did Taurus reading, but I didn't put the stamp. So it sucks to be Taurus. We have the Hermit. And we have King of Swords. Tiggy! Tiger? Come! Come! That's what happens when you have a working dog. He needs to organize the entire neighbor. Come here. He almost looks like a man with his enormous big shoulders, like protective. It's just ridiculous, my doggo. So Sagittarius, Knight of Pentacles, Hermit, and King of Swords. It almost looks like there are two people that you're not picking either. It's so weird that people are almost coming in the wrong stage of your life, because the stage of your life is like, I'm good, and I don't know if I really want to kind of jump in a relationship over here. It's kind of like you're into pampering yourself, you're into doing these things for yourself, you're into meditation, you're into holistic things. So this Knight of Pentacles wants to kind of like show you how he's handy, he can fix everything in your house, he can even tell you how to do things, and you're thinking like, I was not born yesterday, yeah, I know that kind of a thing. I don't need a cavalier in my life, or I don't need, somebody to save me, kind of a thing. And you're like really portraying the strength. Keep in mind, the Hermit comes on shoulder of strength. And so you're strong enough at this stage, you know how to deal with the outside world, but you're like right now dealing into inside world, and there's like, where is that gateway happening? And then we have this King of Swords, which is my favorite card, one of my favorite cards next to the Star and the Sun. And look at how rich this is, because it almost looks like flowers, but honestly, when I looked at it with my astigmatism, it almost looks like faces over here. And that would be almost more appropriate for the Queen of Swords, this particular thing. But this could be a second person, and this person is really up your alley. This person doesn't give shit about you wanting to be alone, doesn't need to prove anything, has been everywhere, done everything. This person is being themselves, holding their own, and that becomes very appealing to you. And you are, or this could be somebody who's holding, for example, a seminar, or who is an expert of some sort, who just doesn't care what anybody thinks. They're just like running their own stuff, and that kind of like, it works for them, and that's kind of like what they want to do. So that's kind of like what is very important. You're almost like enchanted with this person, but you will need to kind of like do some work, because they seem to be a little bit in their own thing. Oh, I'm seeing interesting bird, and I don't know what kind of bird this is. I don't think I have ever seen such bird. Almost looks like a woodpecker, but it's much smaller, and it's not as colorful. It has some green and brown things here, because I put peanuts out there for them, so I have all kinds of birds coming. So my dear Sagittarius, it's kind of like funny, because you guys have that worldly attitude. You always like a challenge in a different way than Scorpio. It's not like, kill me, I will be reborn again. For it is, the life is too short not to experience everything this life can offer to me. And since with not all of us are born with a silver spoon in our mouth, you still want to experience that without the price tag. So for you, some of you, the journey becomes experiential, experience kind of like based, right? So like, that's why you're attracted to foreigners, that's why you're attracted to different ideas, that's why you sometimes become the devil's advocate over here. But now you're truly intrigued, and when you get truly intrigued by someone, it can be love in the air coming next. So just keep that in mind. So that's right, Safi is coming for aqua reading. It's so good of Safi. I think Safi understands what I'm talking. I'm almost like thinking my dog also understands what I'm talking about. So we have two, but we have only one more reading, and this is Aquarius. So we know that because the other one, as we know, it's Pisces, right? So just to show you that I don't have extra Leos or something, let's open them both. So this one is Pisces, which was first. Happy birthday to Pisces again. The next time around, we are in Aries, and this is Aquarius. So ECAT. You see, like, I mean, the next time probably it's going to be first because she's really good with gambling. When I studied statistics, they said the highest ability, probability of winning is repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Statistically, it's much, much higher. So that kind of like works. So let me see my little water carrier. We get to be last. So let's see. Venus is in Aquarius right now, which is great. It used to be before the sign, now it's after, which means it's a beautifying kind of like time. I finally did manage to find a kind of like hairstyle that I like. It took me almost like a few years that I was looking for myself. So we have the Emperor reversed, Five of Wands reversed, and Six of Pentacles reversed. Are we? Yeah, we are the only sign we're getting all the reversals. So the Emperor, the Five of Wands, and Six of Pentacles. So the control is out of our hands if we just go one by one. Five of Wands reversed is good because right now the decision is in on us what we want to do. It's kind of weird. Wasn't this the same thing with somebody else? Was it I don't know who it was, Pisces or Scorpio or something like that. Look at this. It's coming to some kind of conclusion of a sort. Things are really working out over here from what I see. So the Emperor is always somebody who controls us. Could be a father, could be our boss, could be circumstances that basically are we are caught into that, right? But then you get into this Five of Wands, which is like where we assert ourselves and we want to fight for our beliefs, but here we are just not even willing to assert ourselves. We are just not even going there, which is really interesting because it's going from 4 to 5 to 6, not with the same intensity because this 4 is extremely important because it's a major arcana. But then we get to this like 6 of Pentacles, which talks about generosity. So almost like can go like this, could be one of the storylines. You have an argument with your boss and you know you cannot win this argument. You decide to, I guess, finish this argument with being kind and generous of some sort, right? This is also about the self-care, and you're doing this to simply prevent your own mental health, right? In a traditional deck, remember that's the card that you shows this dude, and actually we see it here. She's giving this present here, but it's not shared. It's a bunny. Oh, he already got his present over here. It's so cute. It's something that is going to happen around Easter. It's a state of financial security here, but it's also suggesting that you can use what you have for the benefit of others. So you're maybe almost proving yourself of a sort over here. And I don't know if this is that you're on a giving end or on a receiving end. I could be that you're on a receiving end, right? But also it is something for you that you need to step up, that you need to kind of like be supportive of some sort. And that's kind of like really important to kind of really look at it, right? So it's also to me proverbial about give and take. So giving of your time and giving your wisdom, which is going to be very fulfilling for Aquarius, right? Because this is almost like as fulfilling as giving away of money and gifts. So is it better that a person who knows, you know, oh, this is how you're going to attract people to your cause, gives 5 hours of your time, or they give $1,000, which maybe would be their payment. But that $1,000 would be like, I mean, give them fish versus teach them how to fish. So that's kind of like where maybe you're kind of like coming in, and maybe you're even loaning somebody something with agreement that they're paying you back once they're back on their feet. There is like some kind of help that is really rendered over there, and you're really looking good at that stage, right? And it's also talking about some kind of harmony. Sixes are about harmony, and there is like no mud. The river is flowing properly. Everything is kind of like nourished. So at least we're finishing on a good note, except one warning here. So this all adds to 15. So be very careful, my dear Aquarius, not to be sidetracked into believing that you need to go through something because of money, because you need to have a job, because you want to be in that relationship, because you want insert whatever you need to insert. You need to do it for the right reasons. You need to do it. The right reason is that you want to be in that situation. If the answer is I have to be in that situation, that's not the situation where you need to be, and that's the caveat in this situation. So that's kind of like what you need to know. Did I not put the icon? I think I did. So I clearly am not making to my favorite place for the thing. And I didn't pick the cards either. The first one I didn't put a question mark. So, but we are going to do the second doors right now, guys. And we are going to do quick angel cards. I will ask one of the moderators, please somebody volunteer to give me a list of all the people, all the mods that you can get your angel cards in order of appearance. So that way I don't have to keep scrolling through it while I am doing the doors. I would really greatly appreciate that if that can be done. So let's do it. The doors, second part. One jumped out, so we already have a door number 1, number 2, and door number 3. Let's remove the veil, the psychic veil here. Yep, I still have the Aquarius thingy here. So let's see this. Put the stamp, at least for this one, to, I think this one was around 1 hour and 30 minutes. Question mark. We'll see. So, whew, doors already been read. I think Yogi was the first one. Okay. I missed the icon for Sagittarius. Oh well, sorry Saggies. Oh. So I guess they have the Virgo icon throughout. Well, it happens. So it could mean that there is a connection of a sort. Maybe knitting yogi is the gateway, but it is. Look at this judgment. The number 1 is definitely plus. It is some kind of a release. It is a yes, but that has much bigger value or meaning that you realize right now. The door number 2 is Page of Wands. It's something playful. It's something that maybe doesn't have longevity, but it is a yes for now. So just be careful, because it might not be a permanent yes. It could be sort of like a spur of the moment kind of a thing. Thanks, Knitting Yogi. And the number 3 is a decisions. It's a choice between the two of a sort. It's kind of like this chicken is cooked and who gets what over here. Something needs to be sliced down into pieces and separated. It's kind of like really important. The decision has to be made. And again, the decision has to be made not based on our emotions or stimuli, but based on what we truly believe needs to be done. So that is really, really important. So really hope this helps. So thanks, Knitting Yogi. Let me get the angel cards. And in Yogi, if you want to call me in about, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half after the live, that's fine, because I really need to run and get this and start on my supper. So, oh, we are doing angel cards, not the read. Let's go. First, knitting yogi was first. And the angel card you're getting is birth. Oh my gosh, is she knitting? Isn't this weird? Are you getting a grandchild of some sort? What's happening? There's like something that needs to be knitted. Is it that word, knitted? Does it have it ed? And it's really, really important for that to be done. Whoa. Okay. Kylie. Expectancy. It's a gift of a sort. It's opening the box, or you may be going to be looking through some boxes. Expectancy can mean pregnancy, Kylie. Watch out if you don't want it. It's a very small investment you need to make to prevent it. But this more or less looks to me like something good coming your way. Something really coming through. But wasn't there a Chris somewhere knitting yogi? I'm going to get him. Barbie. Efficiency. Barbie, you need to sort yourself out. You almost like you want to hide from everything. Tired, just like leave me all alone. It's lots of things that you need to do. Like, it's almost like wearing you down, and it's really telling you you really need to organize yourself, because you're expected to do things, and you need to do them in order to help yourself. So there are some babies. Somebody's going to be a baby, Kylie. Catch me on this one. A knit, so it doesn't have a past tense. Thanks. I was thinking it didn't sound right. So you cannot go with what sounds right either, but that looked like that. But thanks. Just learned that. Never got in a situation that I had to say the past tense of knit. Then who is next? We are going Lorna. Lorna, responsibility. This almost looks to me like 2 on 1s. What do I want? And I know that you're putting something on my plate. I don't know, almost like sounds like you're adopting a pet, and I don't know why this is coming to me, or something like it's long term. It's coming through for you. Creative guru, creative guru, creative guru. We have trust, and there is this unicorn. You need to trust yourself and your unique qualities over here, which is really important. When usually this comes through, it always tells me that the person behind is so beautiful, but this person who is literally worn with living in this 3D dimension, and it's kind of really hard for them to recognize that. So it's really important for you to stop and smell the roses and give yourself a pat on the shoulder, as if sometimes it's really too long to wait from somebody else. Kelsey. Hi, Febenji. How are you doing? Welcome. Kelsey's truth. Do you need to face your truth? Do you need to speak your truth? Do you need to acknowledge something, look into something, release something? That's kind of like where I have the intuitive things about that. So that can kind of like thing, right? And then we have Chris. We have Chris. Purification, Mr. Chris. What is it? Where have you been a dirty boy? I don't know if Chris is still with us. Maybe he just left us. Hi, Fabian. Tell us what sign you are, and so good to see you. Just too bad. This is almost like the last second. So then we have a purification, and to me, it's almost connected to water, some rain or something. I don't know if you're dealing some plumbing work at home, or there is like this white that is coming through. Everything is coming through as white and clean, or fog it could be as well. There's like something connecting that really needs to kind of like be put in order for something. So it's self-explanatory. It could simply mean spiritual. It could be a prayer of some sort that you kind of like want to kind of come into kind of like that deep core and kind of like start feeling and feeling properly. So, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. This is all for today. And guys, that was lovely. And I know that I took my sweet time. I thank you all for being super patient. Oh, you're Leo. So we did Leo. If you want to scroll back to 1 hour and 50 minutes and 10 seconds, we did Leo. Leo was really interesting today. But oh, Gemi is here, popped a basketball without touching it. How did that happen? So guys, the next one is in 2 weeks on the 26th. On the 26th, we are going to the reading for the following month. This is going to be psychic messages for April happen, and we are going to be in Aries season at that stage, which means it's a new cycle, it's a new revival. And I really hope that things kind of like work out well. In the meantime, if you have any questions, in the meantime, it's always good to come because you're not going to remember the doors anymore. You're not going to remember the reading. Come and look it again and check the doors again, and that will always help. It's kind of like your go-to. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, on Facebook. Actually, on Facebook, I'm locked out. You cannot follow me. It's sucky thing. I kind of like couldn't log in, and then they said you need to put your password, and I tried to redefine it, like forget your password, and never got that confirmation message. And then finally said, okay, let me just try to lock it. Then I lock myself out and send them my driver's license, and they didn't unlock me, but they sent me a link. This is how you unlock, but it doesn't work. I cannot get in. So I created a completely new Facebook account, and I lost everything, all the memories, everything. It really, really sucks. So it just gives you kind of like a refresher that you don't think that everything is forever. So guys, thank you very much for being here. I love you, and then seeing you on the 26th. Please don't forget to like and share and talk about it. It always happens. So yes, many blessings and happiness. Love you, and I'll be seeing you soon. All the best. Bye.